Mhm.
Mm, else. As a buyer, they will need the payment gateways to be secure and
Mhm.
mm,
Okay. What about the any conditions or sorry the acceptance criteria to write for them? Looks like you made a complex user diagram, so it looks like you spent a lot of time on this than the user stories. That's fine. I think you can explain the user stories from this team. Sorry, the use case diagram. Because I was expecting to spend more time on the user stories and maybe make only one small use case diagram. But it's fine. I think both are okay. So now just explain me the use case diagram. One use case is sufficient to know how did you derive. Who is sharing? Can you explain? I can't hear you if you're explaining.
Professor, in this use case, we are assuming that that this art shop is mostly it is accepting the online
Mm-hmm. Yes.
um, what to say transactions. So
Mm-hmm.
here the artist will just showcase his artwork and manage the artwork, what he wants to
Mm-hmm.
keep in the art shop and whatnot. Then
Mm-hmm.
moving forward with the artwork and the managing thing, he will submit the artwork for review.
Mm-hmm.
And after the review, there should be some like restrictions or regulations for his artwork. So he will what to say collab, or he will work with the shop owner
Mm-hmm.
for this. And with respect to the publishing, he will like his artwork will be either rejected or accepted with
Mm-hmm.
respect to the compliance and regulation part. Then the buyer comes in the scenario. He browses the artwork. He like search what kind of artwork is this guy giving, and what is in the um, like how many of them are making it, and everything. He does a
Mm-hmm.
research. So then the he views the artwork detailing. He just
Mm-hmm.
compares with the other artworks, and he
Mm-hmm.
then he can purchase the artwork, and he can view order history. uh,
Mm-hmm.
order history, yeah, how many times from this artist the artwork has been purchased, or that kind of thing. Then with the shop owner, he he defines the rules for the artwork. Suppose this artwork is been placed in his shop, so he will decide the rules. What kind of artwork should be performed, should be sold, what limit should be there for the price wise, uh,
Mm-hmm.
that way. And he will review all the artwork before he puts in his shop, and he will manage the users. He will put some of the exhibitions and this for a great sale. And
Mm-hmm.
then um, yeah, then the buyers can directly buy it from the payment gateway, like online platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is how it will work.
So what is the security point of view you captured here from this use case diagram? Is there anything specific?
Mm. A security point of view, the payment gateway that has to be encrypted, but we haven't added it in the use case.
Mm-hmm.
And the register login, it has to be again hashed, the password and authentication process.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We just took the user case scenario and the further. you ask that the next team will do it, like the evil stories and the security users.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we thought that this part needs to be done by us. But Professor,
Okay.
do we have to add the security part as well in the use case? Because we were not.
Not to add, I'm asking what do you found? Because now you are doing a
Okay.
use case diagram from security, right? Then you have to write some of the use cases which are relevant to security. And nothing to do anything special, but I'm just asking what did you
Okay.
observe? Because your thinking should be always from a security point of view when you are doing anything, any exercise. Yeah.
Right. In that case, also the artwork rules probably here maybe it's not a compliance, but for them maybe it's a standard that they
Mm-hmm.
have to take care of before
Yes.
publishing it in the shop.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
We'll
So
work on the acceptance
yeah,
for the different user story and the evil
yes.
story as well.
Okay. Yeah. So most importantly, there is this method itself, use case diagram itself is a standard method. You have to always think how I can use it for security. That is the most important thing. Yeah.
Okay, Professor.
Okay, good. So can we switch to the next team?
Yeah, Professor.
Mhm.
So out here we have come up with two user case stories. One with respect to the artist, the other one with the shop owner. So as
Mhm.
an artist, let's say being an artist, he wants to upload a very high quality image so that he can attract several buyers, and
Mhm.
he can get to know how many hits his artwork is getting. So he can also
Mhm.
have access to the performance, how well stats and all are happening over his artwork. So the system
Mhm.
shall support common image file extensions and validate the file content matches the extension, because we like he might have to, even though it's a place where he can upload high quality images, but it doesn't mean that it has to go up to a point where it can consume some gigabyte kind of a memory and all. So that
Mhm.
restriction should be there. And so upload feature uh, shall enforce maximum file size and pixel dimension to prevent pixel flood and denial of service attack. Uploaded file must be scanned for virus, because there are few formats like wherein uh, like even though he's a legitimate kind of a user, the attacker can download that image and put in some malicious code inside the picture, and so it has to be scanned for virus. And
Mhm.
so this is from user artist user story. Similarly, from shop owner user story, uh, let's say shop owner is someone who is trying to review all those artworks. So basically he'll be the someone who will try to see review whether that image is following all the compliance rules, where it's non-violent, or if it is containing some discriminative content that should not be shown online. And
Mhm.
over here he's the one who will be having the power to whether to accept to be showcased on his web page or in the system
Mhm.
or not. And the owner interface should allow, approve, or reject actions on each submission. And the documentation must define the behavior of application when malicious or non-compliant file is detected. So these two are like user stories from artist point of view and shop owner point of view. In a similar way, for evil story, let's say there is a person who is indulging in malicious kind of activity, and let's call him malicious Mike. And let's say he wants to upload a specifically crafted image containing a hidden script. So uh, it might be a file with path traversal characteristics. So it can execute commands on the server and steal shop's financial records that might later harm the entire business. So this is the evil story, and this is the system, the diagram that we have come up with. So where the artist, buyer, and just a second. So here where the
But
artist,
wait, what is this diagram?
the user diagram.
But for your team, there was no use case diagram, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was a story mapping. But you didn't do the story mapping.
yeah. Both we did process.
Where is the story mapping?
The same thing, like where the artist thing and the shop owner, where he'll be reviewing the thing.
So the story mapping goes in 3 different layers. I think the story mapping will go from the user stories, and then it will go further into how the each actions of these user stories are really done or are implemented, and based on which you might have to as an example, I had shown it here, right, in the class. So this is just for you to make sure that you understand the concepts. It's nothing like any output I expect from this exercises. Expectation is you use such models to understand the basics. Even if it is wrong, it's okay, but you should try to use the models. So like you have the use cases, like at the top level, what you did now, and then you have to map the detailing about what that use case actions are. What are the tasks below that? You might have 20 tasks, then you might have to distribute them between the different use cases. And sometimes the same task could have a place in 2 different use cases, and that is what is the difficulty you should identify during this mapping. What kind of tasks will come in under which particular use case, and is there any task which is in multiple use cases, and that is exactly the reason why we do this. There could be because in the end, see, this is in one function saying show available dates, could be as an unique small tasks, but it can be part of the view details. So in order to identify the individual tasks, once I know this task, this is easy for me from here to identify the or derive the requirement out of it in the end. So with this, it's difficult. For example, if I say view city tours, it's on very high level, and that is broken into view all tours, view only selected tour, and then go to the full details. This is how you do in your website, right? When you go to tours, first it will only highlight only price and the tag title for all the tours to make the people interesting to go inside. And once you, for example, you select all the tours, and then you are interested in Spain, which is attractive, you want to go and price is good, and then you click on select button of that particular tour. And once you select, then the tour will open, and then it will show you full details about that particular tour regarding what is the description, what are the highlights, or what is the different locations it's covered in this tour, and what are the dates which you can book. So this is going in this order, like this, for one particular user story, use case. So from one particular use case, you should be able to map like this, and the same again goes here like this. So making this will help you to identify some gaps, identify some detailed tasks, and those detailed tasks will become requirements later. Because these are implementable requirements, each of them. Pressing a button means there should be a button which is taking you to the next step. That is a requirement in the end, which developer will introduce a button in the web page, which will expand the current requirements. Yeah, the main intention of using story mapping is to finally come up with some requirements. And when you do the story mapping, you should take one use case and take a flow like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the intention. You can practice it, and it's also the same with other team what I gave the user stories. So user stories intention is also not to derive at the high level. Maybe you can combine in the use case diagram. you derive the use cases, and this use case is further used in the story mapping to come up with the detailed tasks. So it's like stepwise. Do the use case diagram first at the high level, and then use one of the use case here, and then break it into a story mapping, so that you will finally implement everything. That's why I said some projects will use combined models, like 2 or 3 models, and some can only stop at this model. Yeah, where they only get high level functions and they let individual developer think or decide how to do the views CT tools implementation. They will not detail it down further in the use case. Yeah? The intention is to go through the particular model definition, and maybe if you are not sure, then don't try to Google it, find some definition, then ask me the documentation. I think this document was not available with you, but then I can also provide it. Yeah. So next time, try to use the methods and tools which we discuss, because it's important that requirement derivation can be done by anybody using many different tools. But in the I doubt all the on the in the lecture is about learn different methods. In the end, at work you might use only one. Yeah, but you should know all 4. That is all different models available. Okay. So
Yeah.
can you give back maybe 5 minutes? Now you can take it back and just complete your explanation. Yeah, Bennett, take back the control and share, and then complete your explanation. So I just took the control to show you what was my intention to give different models to each of
Yeah,
you.
Professor.
Mhm.
Rest of the thing is same like my other friends explained, like the same kind of a system, but their thing was much more detailed.
Mhm.
So where these are the primary roles of an artist, where he can manage his profile, upload his artwork, and
Mhm.
he can also view his sales report. And
Mhm.
meanwhile, whatever artwork he uploads has to be protected by file handling requirements, wherein it might have several features of validation, plus scanning for any kind of malicious code if it is there, or a file name that which contains some code which can harm the servers.
Mhm.
Then we have this buyer, where a buyer can have access to browse the artwork and later add all those items to his cart. And he also has a like privilege to create a guest book entry, so he can wherein he can write his reviews, followed by he can proceed with the payment for whatever artwork he's trying to purchase, where artist, buyer, and shop owner constitutes the primary actor. And here, because of payment involved, here we'll make use of payment service, that which acts like a secondary actor. And plus we have shown it in a bidirectional way so as to indicate the acknowledgement that which the buyer gets uh, from the payment service. And we have this shop owner, where shop owner is the one who will define rules, and he's the one who will review the artwork. He is the one who will generate the invoices for all the artworks that which has been sold out. And finally he also has uh, dedicated like system where he can see overall business performance, and whatever communication is happening between any two nodes has to be TLS based encrypted. Yeah, Professor. And we should make sure, and in between all these things we need to have that validation systems running, as well as scanning systems running, so as to prevent any malicious kind of activity that a attacker is trying to launch.
Mhm. Okay. And maybe this diagram is, what do I call this model now? This picture, what is drawn here? Is it an use case diagram or it's a story mapping, or what exactly should I call this diagram model?
Um,
How did you derive this picture or the diagram?
from Broad.io thing, but the main thing was from the task that you asked, like we were supposed to come up with the use case diagram basically.
Yes. Yes. And the most important thing about the use case diagrams is also not for this class, but I don't know whether you have studied already in SDLC. The use case diagrams are derived with the UML diagrams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you go to the draw.io, can you go to the draw.io? Usually the pictures are shouldn't they are representative of what we usually implement. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there the pictures cannot be random. You can't use the blocks. You can't use the different things what we like. You have to go to the UMLs. If you come down in the left side here, yeah, you can use this UMLs, yes. And there it will give you further down all the symbols, which
Mm-hmm.
each symbol has its own meaning.
Yeah.
And use case diagrams should be derived in a way how it is described. Yeah, for the exercise it's okay, but I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
when you want to derive the use case diagrams, you must follow the rules. What use case diagram is a standardized method.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you have to follow the same methods. You can't use the blocks. You have to use the arrows in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And there is also some, I thought W3 school should have the proper lecture for you to see how to do the use case diagrams. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe this is also important for you to learn along it's not important for this class, but any model, if we say you should try to use a UML models, because that's what is industry-wide used. And every company, when they ask you to draw the use case diagrams, follow the proper methods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will give you here for all the models, whatever we discussed. For everything, there is very good explanation in the W3 schools. Yeah. So where you are this, what is the other one? Not the W3 one. This is Greeks for Greeks, where they have the very nice explanation, and each symbol, what does this mean? How do you derive not just the use cases or everything, like sequence diagrams and the other models, whatever we explained here in the class. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of you, this is useful link how to go through and understand a bit, so that it's important for the requirement engineering. Okay. Otherwise, good. Both the teams are, yeah, you tried a bit, but still try to put more effort on applying what is really taught. Don't try to do what you know already, because you might be knowing better than what is explained here, but still it's important to learn everything theoretically, what is there in the syllabus. Yeah, because it will be useful. You'll get to know in future when you go for a work. So, any questions, last questions before we close? From any of you? No? Okay. I think at least the next, you might have already got an update. At least we don't have classes in the next week. There's no class. Did you get this alert already?
Not the alert, but we saw this
In
calendar.
my
So,
campus, right? So just to avoid this
correct.
confusion, what I will do from the next week onwards, I will try to send the individual invitations for the meetings, so that you can also check in your calendars, so that you will not be missing something or maybe confused and miss the class. To avoid it, I will try to send the invitations. Yeah.
Okay.
So for now, anyway, the next week classes are cancelled, and we have a class from the first week of May. Okay, I will send the invitations, and from then it will be easy to track it from the calendar. So if there are no further questions, then thank you and wish you a nice day.
You too, Professor.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Professor.
A nice
Thank you,
day,
Professor.
sir. Bye.